team who drew 0 against Betis last time. Out go Rodrigo and Nacho, in come Valverde and Alaba. So the Reds line up with Alisson in goal. Across the back four, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson. The three in midfield, Henderson, Fabinho and Thiago. And then up top, it's the front three of Salah, Mane and Diaz. At four, Real Madrid, it's Courtois in goal, and a back four of Mendy, Alaba, Militao and Carvajal. In midfield, it's Cruz, Casemiro and Modric. Their front three, Vinicius Junior, Valverde and Benzema. It's a very warm welcome to our coverage of the Champions League final. Liverpool take on Real Madrid in Saint-Denis at the Stade de France. Winner takes all, of course. For the Reds, there are three changes from the team who beat Wolves in the Premier League last time. Out go Matip, Keita and Jota. In come Van Dijk, Fabinho and Salah. For Los Blancos, Carlo Ancelotti makes two changes from the team who drew 0 against Betis last time. Out go Rodrigo and Nacho. In come Valverde and Alaba. So the Reds line up with Alisson in goal. Across the back four, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson. The three in midfield, Henderson, Fabinho and Thiago. And then up top, it's the front three of Salah, Mane and Diaz. At four, Real Madrid, it's Courtois in goal, and a back four of Mendy, Alaba, Militao and Carvajal. In midfield, it's Cruz, Casemiro and Modric. Their front three, Vinicius Junior, Valverde and Benzema. It's a very warm welcome to our coverage of the Champions League final. Liverpool take on Real Madrid in Saint-Denis at the Stade de France. Winner takes all, of course. For the Reds, there are three changes from the team who beat Wolves in the Premier League last time. Out go Matip, Keita and Jota. In come Van Dijk, Fabinho and Salah. For Los Blancos, Carlo Ancelotti makes two changes from the team who drew 0 against Betis last time. Out go Rodrigo and Nacho. In come Valverde and Alaba. So the Reds line up with Alisson in goal. Across the back four, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson. The three in midfield, Henderson, Fabinho and Thiago. And then up top, it's the front three of Salah, Mane and Diaz. At four, Real Madrid, it's Courtois in goal, and a back four of Mendy, Alaba, Militao and Carvajal. In midfield, it's Cruz, Casemiro and Modric. Their front three, Vinicius Junior, Valverde and Benzema. It's a very warm welcome to our coverage of the Champions League final. Liverpool take on Real Madrid in Saint-Denis at the Stade de France. Winner takes all, of course. For the Reds, there are three changes from the team who beat Wolves in the Premier League last time. Out go Matip, Keita and Jota. In come Van Dijk, Fabinho and Salah. For Los Blancos, Carlo Ancelotti makes two changes from the team who drew 0 against Betis last time. Out go Rodrigo and Nacho. In come Valverde and Alaba. So the Reds line up with Alisson in goal. Across the back four, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson. The three in midfield, Henderson, Fabinho and Thiago. And then up top, it's the front three of Salah, Mane and Diaz. At four, Real Madrid, it's Courtois in goal, and a back four of Mendy, Alaba, Militao and Carvajal. In midfield, it's Cruz, Casemiro and Modric. Their front three, Vinicius Junior, Valverde and Benzema. It's a very warm welcome to our coverage of the Champions League final. Liverpool take on Real Madrid in Saint-Denis at the Stade de France. Winner takes all, of course. For the Reds, there are three changes from the team who beat Wolves in the Premier League last time. Out go Matip, Keita and Jota. In come Van Dijk, Fabinho and Salah. For Los Blancos, Carlo Ancelotti makes two changes from the team who drew 0 against Betis last time. Out go Rodrigo and Nacho. In come Valverde and Alaba. So the Reds line up with Alisson in goal. Across the back four, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson. The three in midfield, Henderson, Fabinho and Thiago. and then up top it's the front three of Salah, Mane and Diaz. At 4, Real Madrid, it's Courtois in goal and a back 4 of Mendy, Alaba, Militao and Carvajal. In midfield it's Cruz, Casemiro and Modric. Their front 3, Vinicius Junior, Valverde and Benzema. It's a very warm welcome to our coverage of the Champions League final. Liverpool take on Real Madrid in Saint-Denis at the Stade de France. Winner takes all, of course. For the Reds, there are 3 changes from the team who beat Wolves in the Premier League last time. Out go Matip, Keita and Jota. In come Van Dijk, Fabinho and Salah. For Los Blancos, Carlo Ancelotti makes 2 changes from the team who drew 0 against Betis last time. Out go Rodrigo and Nacho. In come Valverde and Alaba. So the Reds line up with Alisson in goal. Across the back 4, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson. The 3 in midfield, Henderson, Fabinho and Thiago. And then up top, it's the front 3 of Salah, Mane and Diaz. At 4, Real Madrid, it's Courtois in goal and a back 4 of Mendy, Alaba, Militao and Carvajal. In midfield, it's Cruz, Casemiro and Modric. Their front 3, Vinicius Junior, Valverde and Benzema. It's a very warm welcome to our coverage of the Champions League final. Liverpool take on Real Madrid in Saint-Denis at the Stade de France. Winner takes all, of course. For the Reds, there are 3 changes from the team who beat Wolves in the Premier League last time. Out go Matip, Keita and Jota. In come Van Dijk, Fabinho and Salah. For Los Blancos, Carlo Ancelotti makes 2 changes from the team who drew 0 against Betis last time. Out go Rodrigo and Nacho. In come Valverde and Alaba. So the Reds line up with Alisson in goal. Across the back 4, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson. The 3 in midfield, Henderson, Fabinho and Thiago. And then up top, it's the front 3 of Salah, Mane and Diaz. At 4, Real Madrid, it's Courtois in goal and a back 4 of Mendy, Alaba, Militao and Carvajal. In midfield, it's Cruz, Casemiro and Modric. Their front 3, Vinicius Junior, Valverde and Benzema. It's a very warm welcome to our coverage of the Champions League final. Liverpool take on Real Madrid in Saint-Denis at the Stade de France. Winner takes all, of course. For the Reds, there are 3 changes from the team who beat Wolves in the Premier League last time. Out go Matip, Keita and Jota. In come Van Dijk, Fabinho and Salah. For Los Blancos, Carlo Ancelotti makes 2 changes from the team who drew 0 against Betis last time. Out go Rodrigo and Nacho. In come Valverde and Alaba. So the Reds line up with Alisson in goal. Across the back 4, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson. The 3 in midfield, Henderson, Fabinho and Thiago. And then up top, it's the front 3 of Salah, Mane and Diaz. At 4, Real Madrid, it's Courtois in goal and a back 4 of Mendy, Alaba, Militao and Carvajal. In midfield, it's Cruz, Casemiro and Modric. Their front 3, Vinicius Junior, Valverde and Benzema. It's a very warm welcome to our coverage of the Champions League final. Liverpool take on Real Madrid in Saint-Denis at the Stade de France. Winner takes all, of course. For the Reds, there are 3 changes from the team who beat Wolves in the Premier League last time. Out go Matip, Keita and Jota. In come Van Dijk, Fabinho and Salah. For Los Blancos, Carlo Ancelotti makes 2 changes from the team who drew 0 against Betis last time. Out go Rodrigo and Nacho. In come Valverde and Alaba. So the Reds line up with Alisson in goal. Across the back 4, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson. The 3 in midfield, Henderson, Fabinho and Thiago. And then up top, it's the front 3 of Salah, Mane and Diaz. At 4, Real Madrid, it's Courtois in goal and a back 4 of Mendy, Alaba, Militao and Carvajal. In midfield, it's Cruz, Casemiro and Modric. Their front 3, Vinicius Junior, Valverde and Benzema. It's a very warm welcome to our coverage of the Champions League final. Liverpool take on Real Madrid in Saint-Denis, the Stade de France, when it takes all, of course. For the Reds, there are three changes from the team who beat Wolves in the Premier League last time. Out go Matip, Keita and Jota, in come Van Dijk, Fabinho and Salah. For Los Blancos, Carlo Ancelotti makes two changes from the team who drew 0 against Betis last time. Out go Rodrigo and Nacho, in come Valverde and Alaba. So the Reds line up with Alisson in goal. Across the back four, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson. The three in midfield, Henderson, Fabinho and Thiago. And then up top, it's the front three of Salah, Mane and Diaz. For Real Madrid, it's Courtois in goal, and a back four of Mendy, Alaba, Militao and Carvajal. In midfield, it's Cruz, Casemiro and Modric. Their front three, Vinicius Junior, Valverde and Benzema. It's a very warm welcome to our coverage of the Champions League final. Liverpool take on Real Madrid in Saint-Denis, the Stade de France, when it takes all, of course. For the Reds, there are three changes from the team who beat Wolves in the Premier League last time. Out go Matip, Keita and Jota, in come Van Dijk, Fabinho and Salah. For Los Blancos, Carlo Ancelotti makes two changes from the team who drew 0 against Betis last time. Out go Rodrigo and Nacho, in come Valverde and Alaba. So the Reds line up with Alisson in goal. Across the back four, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson. The three in midfield, Henderson, Fabinho and Thiago. And then up top, it's the front three of Salah, Mane and Diaz. For Real Madrid, it's Courtois in goal, and a back four of Mendy, Alaba, Militao and Carvajal. In midfield, it's Cruz, Casemiro and Modric. Their front three, Vinicius Junior, Valverde and Benzema. It's a very warm welcome to our coverage of the Champions League final. Liverpool take on Real Madrid in Saint-Denis, the Stade de France, when it takes all, of course. For the Reds, there are three changes from the team who beat Wolves in the Premier League last time. Out go Matip, Keita and Jota, in come Van Dijk, Fabinho and Salah. For Los Blancos, Carlo Ancelotti makes two changes from the team who drew 0 against Betis last time. Out go Rodrigo and Nacho, in come Valverde and Alaba. So the Reds line up with Alisson in goal. Across the back four, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson. The three in midfield, Henderson, Fabinho and Thiago. And then up top, it's the front three of Salah, Mane. Well, finally, a warm welcome to our coverage of what should be a pretty good game, if they ever get it underway, that is, of course. I'm John Hogan, and I'm joined by Max Hunter for this game. They are just about to kick off, I promise. There were a few problems with congestion getting into the ground, and I think it was the right thing, Max, to actually delay it, make sure the Reds fans could get in. Everybody's in now. We're all raring to go.
Absolutely, yeah. Don't want to cause any bit of panic for the people, that the ticket holders who are out there. Don't want to cause any stress, panic, and then just creates a bit of more antisocial behaviour and stuff like that. So keep everybody calm. As long as the fans out there knew that it was postponed for another half an hour, everything should, and looks like it is all sorted. Both ends of the stadium look pretty packed. Obviously, the bits in the middle there sold for the corporate and commercial, which is just another problem in itself for modern day football. But everybody's happy. We've had Camila Cabello, and it looks like we're ready to go.
Yep. So, referee is Clément Turpin. It's all about France, isn't it, this weekend? Anyway, he's a decent referee, I think. And so, I'm looking forward to this. Benzema and Henderson up for the coin toss. And I think it's immaterial who wins it. What Jurgen Klopp was saying ahead of the game is the pitch is not very good. It looks like it's just been laid. Let's hope it doesn't come up in big clumps and anybody gets injured or anything like that. The other thing I suppose that we need to do is work out. They were saying, weren't they, that Thiago might not be starting. It might be Keita. We're yet to confirm that. At least I haven't heard any more about that, Max.
No, I haven't heard anything about it either, and not gonna lie, we're just seeing the graphics come up on the screen. I didn't see anything untoward in that, so it looks like it will be the starting lineup. Alba brought him Alba in again, another player with over 100 appearances in the Champions League. So I think Liverpool are up to it now, and they're better suited to take on Real Madrid. And I do think Liverpool will edge it.
Yep, I think another one of the reasons, I don't know if the news will have filtered down to the players, that because of the crowd congestion outside, the French police then got hostile, used tear gas. Just not on that. They need to sort things out better. It's not as if they didn't know it was going to happen. As long as they sort that the fans have got tickets now, I don't see what the problem could be there anyway. Let's hope that everybody's okay before and afterwards. But for the moment, there's a game to win. Liverpool have got a free kick just at the edge of the area. And Alexander-Arnold might just want to put right-footed swinging into the box, and he does. But it's a flat delivery. That's headed away by Benzema, who is absolutely terrific in the air. The ball scooped back into the box, but, it's easy enough for Ferland Mendy to watch it over his shoulder. There are a few French players out there tonight, Benzema being one, Ferland Mendy another one, but I think the only guy who's playing on home soil in Paris is Canate tonight. I think he's a Parisian. Don't know if that augurs well. Anyhow, Real Madrid bring their keeper into it. Courtois under massive pressure as he clears the ball. Was he clattered into? I'm not sure. Our referee Clement Turpin is giving anything there. Real Madrid playing out from the back. We're just a little bit slow. Anyway, Canate on the ball finds Fabinho. It's a clever little dink ball from him. And then Alexander-Arnold playing the ball around the corner, looking for Mane. Militao, he's got that pace. He's just cruising speed about him. Mane must be quicker, but he just read the play really well there. Now Los Blancos have the ball back with Casemiro firing it forward. Typically Benzema with a good touch there, and then Alexander-Arnold, another tall player, gets there ahead of Vinicius Jr., but the ball goes out before Salah can get there. It's been a decent start actually by the Reds getting on the ball. We'll just bring Max in a second as Modric finds Vinicius Jr., who is held up by Salah, and then Henderson comes and the ball, was it scraped off Vinicius Jr.? Not according to the referee. Max, I think Liverpool have actually made a decent start here, getting the ball down and playing. Equally, I think Real Madrid look vaguely comfortable when they have the ball. So it's a fairly even start, but there's no real sign of nerves out there.
No, you say that Liverpool, they've looked good with the ball, but equally Real Madrid have looked good when out of possession. There's nothing to concern. The only bad mark about either 22 players out in this opening 4 minutes was Alexander-Arnold's delivery. It was proper, didn't get past the first man, very chest high, so you hope that that's not a sign for things to come in his case, because you know he's a very important player for Liverpool at set pieces, getting a good ball in to the box, so it can only get better from his point of view. But both sides in the opening 4.5 minutes very evenly matched, and yet to obviously just taking the time and just scouting the opposition out and seeing what's what.
Yep. Any other issues might be the weather. Is it too hot? Who would it suit? I've got to say that at 17 degrees C, really it's fine. There's a nice gentle breeze blowing through the stadium. There's no reason why it would suit Los Blancos any more than it would suit Liverpool. So we can sort of dispel that. Mendy makes a little bit of ground, goes back, then a cross-field ball. He's looking for Carvajal. First touch is heavy, but Militao does well. And now just at the edge of the area, it's a chance for Real Madrid. And just having to work backwards to Cruz. Then Benzema peeled off the left-hand side. And look where Salah is just back helping his defender out there. So all the red shirts are back. And, well, they've lost the ball there. Robertson trying to work it away is just... found Militao, who'd come a bit deeper there. So they don't look like there's anybody's worried out there. Looks like Real Madrid's trying to stop Liverpool from playing out, but at the moment, although Modric has come a bit further up the field, he couldn't do that. Alexander-Arnold now on the ball, finds Salah, good ball, back on the inside to Fabinho. Liverpool getting a good touch here as Robertson strays over the halfway line. On the left-hand side, he cuts it back into midfield. And, well, now that was just a touch for Luis Diaz, who'd come a bit deeper. Robertson again on the left-hand side. Diaz goes short, the Colombian, and then the ball goes backwards for Thiago. And then Henderson just stabs it back for Canate. Everybody getting a feel of the ball right now, Max, and settling themselves in a little bit.
Yeah, it's not... If you're thinking that they've been caught cold because of the delayed start, no, they were out. They came out for a warm-up. Both teams have looked sharp and quick with the ball. Benzema just trying to start another counter-attack. Nice flick to bring it over to the right-hand side. But it's just both the opposition are just sitting deep and allowing the other team to have it, not wanting to cause concern early as Valverde puts a poor ball into the box.
Yeah, I'm looking for weaknesses in either team, and for me, Valverde's one. I don't think he's out the top drawer. I think he's a good player, and personally, I've never seen him play that well. They've got a chap called Rodrigo on the bench who I would fancy a bit more. And he's a lot of do like Mo Salah tries to get through. But Mendy reads out like a book, and he comes out and takes the ball away. Wasn't a good ball to him. Cruz now settles it down, and the key cog, Luka Modric, has been brilliant this season. I saw them earlier in the competition. One ball with the outstep to find Rodrigo for a goal that brought him back into a game was absolutely sublime, and it just reminded me, Modric is still out the top drawer, and he's probably their best player. And then Benzema has rolled back the years this season. He can miss a few, but the goals that he scores, particularly with his head, is absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Anyway, he might find trouble today because both these centre backs for Liverpool are 6'4". And you won't get much change out of Virgil van Dijk in the air.
No, it just depends on how good the quality is from the box, and will the likes of Alexander-Arnold and Robertson allowed to do. You say Robertson is more defensive out the two fullbacks, so you've got to say maybe Alexander-Arnold, would Klopp have said, go play your natural game. We know what you can do. Don't be attacking flower. It'll be like, just stay back a little bit. Make sure you're just checking behind you every now and then, because Vinicius really is the key. He's the speed in this Real Madrid side. So it'll be interesting to see how Alexander-Arnold goes. But from a goal kick, he's left Vinicius to Canate. So looks to be that he's playing as normal and not being more defensive in the opening 8.5 minutes.
Yeah, I think Jurgen Klopp said ahead of the game, one of the reasons why Canate was on is that maybe he's just got a little bit more speed than Matip. and they felt that was important. Here comes Alexander-Arnold forward to Salah. Henderson just gallops ahead of him, gets the ball back, and then he plays it off Vinicius Junior, and that goes out for a throw for the Reds in enemy territory. But we haven't seen a shot on target yet. 9 minutes into the game, and so it is Liverpool on the ball with Van Dijk, and now Konate again. Just seeing something that said Mane looks like he's in a spot of bother. That's not obvious right now as I look at him running. That was spotted by the BBC. There's Alexander-Arnold. Good ball to Salah. A bit of space to run into, and he finds Mane. Can he cut the ball back? Yes, he can. And I think that ball had gone out. There's a shot from Salah, but the flag had gone up, and it is a goal kick. He just couldn't get to the ball before it rolled over the byline.
Yeah, flag went up straight away from the assistant referee. He's on the right side of the pitch, and just a quick look of the replay. It was Casemiro. Won't be happy with his clearance. He was rather just put it straight back into the middle of the field, but he's fortunate that the assistant referee put his flag up. Gave the opportunity to Salah. It's very unlikely given that midfield three of Casemiro, Modric and Kroos is just... Which midfield would you have? Would you have the Liverpool midfield three or the Real Madrid? They're both equally as good and definitely have each individual qualities. They're probably a bit more speed in the Liverpool one, but there's also probably better passes of the ball in the Real Madrid one.
Well, I mean, out of them all, I think I'd take Modric, you know. I think he's been the best player over a longer period.
Yeah.
But I'd probably then be thinking Fabinho and Thiago as it stands. But they've got different attributes, like you say. Jordan Henderson, what an engine that fella's got on him, you know, and leadership qualities too. And I think if we roll back the clock, you know, Toni Kroos, you know, you'd have to think about him, wouldn't you? But anyway, you know, he's possibly a little bit long in the tooth. And for me, when I've watched Real Madrid this season, he's not quite, you know, contributing as he may have done in the past. I'll couch it like that. Casemiro is a good, strong player in the middle as well, more maybe defensive-minded. Does make the odd mistake, though. Anyhow, it is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. We're only, weirdly, 12 minutes into the game. There have been a long delay, half an hour before kick-off. But that's all behind us now, and a little bit of football being played, which has seen Real Madrid, weirdly, according to the stats, the BBC, dominate possession. It hasn't looked like that.
No, not to my eye, no. It's both been equal footing in the game, and nobody's really penetrated the penalty area. Neither goalkeeper has really had to make a save at all. There's only bit of hesitancy, you said, was a long ball over the box, which didn't quite make it to the penalty area. Konate and Alisson sort of looked to each other, but it was easily dealt with in the end. Other than that, no real cause for concern for Liverpool fans or Real Madrid fans.
Yeah, apparently there are still fans outside. So whatever they've done today, they've made a real mess of it, haven't they? Which you think all the time they've got to prepare.
Yeah, but we don't know if they're ticketed fans or ticketless fans who are still hanging around trying to find a way in. But from the cameras from the pictures we're seeing, we're not seeing any empty seats. They're not making a point of it. But then again, why would they make a point of it if they're UEFA director? No, exactly. Anyway, you know, that's really unfortunate. Imagine that you spent all the time and money to get there, and then for some reason, you know, you're held up, and the communication is poor. Anyway, it is what it is, and they're at least trying to remain calm. The fans who are still outside, but here come Liverpool trying to get forward. Mane can't find Salah, and some good defending there, but Real Madrid back deep at the minute. All hands to pumps for them, as Van Dijk finds Fabinho, and it's Liverpool again. Alexander-Arnold, good ball to Diaz. First opportunity for him to take on Carvalho. Can he run him into the box? Yes, he can. The Colombia skips over a challenge just at the edge of the area. Forced to put his foot on the ball. Go back to Thiago, back to Diaz. He's got Robertson with him. Can he find a cross? Cross comes in. Took a little deflection there, and Mendy is cool and he's calm, and he chests that back to his keeper. Yeah, Robertson looking for Mane in the right position. But there was only, just looking at the replay here, there was only Mane in the box, and he was surrounded by players in white shirts. So Liverpool, I don't know if they're hesitant or whether it's been a tactical ploy not to rush out and crowd the penalty area too early and get caught in the counter-attack, or a few players caught in the heels, not expecting Robertson to put it into the box. But Diaz now, in the last minute or so, has really got his head into the game, but then Salah can't bring that down. Very rare mistake from the Egyptian.
Here comes Vinicius Junior. The ball's breaking the other way now. He's only got Benzema ahead of him. Got to try and hold the ball up, but he can't. Canate gets there, gets a foot in, and then he gets beyond him as well. That's brilliant. And the Reds fans are up off their seats as now Salah picks up the ball. He runs into a challenge of Toni Kroos. The ball goes out. It will be a Liverpool throw. That is why Canate is out there today. For one moment, it looked like Vinicius Junior had got the ball back, but he's so strong and he's so quick. Yeah,
Vinicius Junior, he was just looking at the replay, didn't look too interested in trying to in that 50-50 shoulder barge. Then it was very much at 90% to 10 in Canate's favour, and then he was confident enough to get the ball in between his feet, knock it forward, bring it sprinting to the halfway line, trying to forward a new counter attack himself. Maybe something again in his column rather than Joel Matip's. In that favour of him, but Liverpool starting. You say Liverpool are looking better and better, and Real Madrid are just they've plateaued a little bit in the last 5 or so minutes.
Yeah, they look like the team who are looking to counter-attack, if anything, don't they? As Liverpool are beginning to set their stall out just a little bit more. 16 minutes in, it is goalless then at the Stade de France with Liverpool now with Fabinho coming forward. Modric very nearly gets a foot on that, not quite. Mane comes a bit deeper to pick it up, and he finds Robertson, left-hand side. Deep in enemy territory again as the ball floated out to right for Jordan Henderson. He will control it, head it back. It's a good header back. And now Trent Alexander-Arnold cuts into the box. The cutback's there. The shot comes in, and Courtois saves with his left hand. Don't know if that was going to creep in, but that is as close as we've got.
Great finish from Salah. Even better save from Courtois. And Liverpool not giving up the ghost. He appeals for handball against Salah, but not given.
And here may be an opportunity. Diaz with a shot that's blocked by Carvalho. Ball breaks back to Robertson. Just the edge of the area. This is good for Liverpool. Now with the Thiago shot comes in, and it's saved by Courtois.
Very good as well. Liverpool just Canate again. Initially I thought it took a deflection. That's why it went straight to Courtois. But you can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to curl it into the corner, but he just hit it too much in the centre of it, and we're still waiting for a replay from behind the goal for that Salah chance. It looked like initially it may have been going in, so it's a great save from Courtois, and Salah, he did everything he could. It was a little bit behind him. He had to really lean back and hook the ball with his right foot towards goal, so he could do no more. Did well enough to get some good contact, and even better to get it on target. And that's the closest we have come in Liverpool. You're right, John. They have set the stall out, and now they're pretty much cashing in now because it's all Liverpool at the moment.
Here they come with the Diaz down the left-hand side. He's getting the run on the Carvalho, takes him to the byline. Ball comes back for Thiago. Out with his feet then for Robertson, who just moseyed onto the inside of him. He picks it up left-footed. Good ball into the box, and Mane can turn. Shot comes in. Oh, and it stings the palms of Courtois, who is now being tested by Mo Salah. He's desperate to do well. We talked about he's got an axe to grind. Last time he played Los Blancos in the final, he didn't last too long. Tangle with Ramos, came off second best in here now. I just felt at the time, because Salah was absolutely on fire, and no doubt Liverpool's best player, that maybe their chance had come and gone. So he's bound to be fired up tonight.
Absolutely. Also a shout to Sadio Mane. He's leading the line for Liverpool tonight, but he's sort of floating behind between the two centre halves, sort of in that false 9 position. He's coming and going. He picked up a great space there to lay off Thiago.
Here's Valverde now. Good ball into the box. Whoa, he's just an inch away from finding Vinicius Junior there, who had got the run on the Liverpool defenders. That ball missed him, but not by much. So Liverpool have got to be careful.
To me, Vinicius Junior sort of deviated his run a little bit there. That's why maybe without that slight deviation, maybe he felt he had to sort of curve his run a little bit to stay on side. We're probably not going to see a replay, so we'll never know. But without that deviation, he ended up a yard behind. So maybe that was the difference. But Liverpool are looking really threatening. Real Madrid are getting there, but to the final third, but no quality shown as yet to really break into Liverpool's defensive third and cause worries for Alisson.
Managed as well there, keeps the ball alive just the edge of the area. Alexander-Arnold picks it up. Now Henderson out the right-hand side. Mane picks it up now, looking for the give and go, gets it from Salah, lays it back, chance for a shot. And that's still coming down from Alexander-Arnold, leaning back on that.
Leaning back all the way. So left alone, got rid of his marker. You don't know who's picking him up there. Kroos has been dragged out of position. Maybe Modric, but I don't want to say that. Well, they are getting a bit on, but I don't want to fall into the stigma as if you're waiting to your 30s, you haven't got the legs anymore. Obviously, fine athletes, but you are a bit of a worry that Liverpool are passing around the mid and getting through the midfield very easily at the moment. And only then when they've really crowded the penalty area, Real Madrid, that's when they're making it difficult for Liverpool. But they are getting them better and better in that and around the penalty areas. In the last 5 minutes, we've had four shots, four good chances in there. That's one from Alexander-Arnold. Should really be doing better and really putting that on target and forcing Courtois into a save. And I think Liverpool have got a free kick just inside the Madrid half, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with this.
Yep, sure will. They've had 4 opportunities now, Liverpool. The Salah, a couple of shots, both on target. One saved fingertips, one saved diving to his left by Courtois. Thiago's shot deflected straight at the Belgian goalkeeper.
Look at this space for Fabinho. He's got so much space. Liverpool, the midfielders are under no real pressure. Real Madrid are just interested in just defending that final third imaginary line, and Liverpool are getting there with absolute ease.
Here is Mane into the box. Oh, shot comes in and he was tipped onto the post by Courtois. Oh, dear me, I thought he'd scored there, and I bet he thought he'd scored too. That was brilliant from Mane, but the equal of him was the goalkeeper. I think he got a fingertip on that.
Yeah, and Courtois is extremely fortunate. It comes back in his favour, and it just misses the back of the Belgians' head as well. How many times do you see it when they save it onto the post and it goes in off the back of their heads? Mane, very unfortunate, and he was in there just inside the penalty area, and the Real Madrid players backed off. They weren't interested in, don't want to give away a penalty, and they duly obliged with a fantastic effort on goal.
Well, Courtois is playing well, isn't he? And here come Liverpool again, and I think he was upended there. Come on, referee, you can't allow fouls like that. It was Casemiro who, as soon as they get anywhere near him, he throws himself to the ground. I think the referee missed an obvious free kick there.
Well, that on the replay, that one was pretty obvious. So we just see the Mane one there. To me, Casemiro does well, gets the leg around, fair challenge in his eyes, as we see sort of Mr. Burns of football, in my opinion, Florentino Perez, the president of Real Madrid. He's just a very sinister man, I feel.
Okay. Well, anyway,
that's my opinion, not the opinion of the broadcaster.
Right. So I thought that was fouled by Casemiro. He did get the ball, but he then hooked his legs around the man he was challenging. I'm not sure you can do that anymore. Referee thought differently. Anyway, Real Madrid on the ball, but for the moment they really got to be careful, because I think they've been sat deep. I think that Carlo Ancelotti is a very he's a very good manager. Very negative, I think, in nature. And it's always, safety first kind of thing, and we'll try and pick them off later. But here comes a Diaz now, chance to run at the defence. He nearly gets there and he nearly scrapes through, doesn't he? I just felt there that Militao was all at sea, looked at the little Colombian running towards him, didn't have a clue, but in the end...
He just got the ball stuck underneath him, I think, Diaz, and that's what gave... That was... you're right, he did hesitate, and he was like, what do I do? And then the cut ball was stuck underneath him, and that sort of gave him the invitation to challenge. But he did need a long invitation before he put that challenge in. He'd go back to Ancelotti. I think it's not the Italian ways, and it's the Italian style to just dig in, hit on the counter attack, and as the game goes further and further on, be more expansive. And say in this opening quarter of the game, Liverpool have got the moral win so far.
Yep, they played better and they've hit the woodwork, and you couldn't ask that much more of them, really. They're dominating a very good team, but this is a team you can't take your eyes off. And, if you think you've got the job done as Man City did, then, you've got to think again. So you cannot take things for granted. Liverpool are going to have to keep this up throughout 90 minutes and maybe longer. Anyway, we're halfway through the first half. You're listening to independent off-tube studio commentary from myself, John Hogan. And now to take us through to half-time is Max Hunter.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you, John. And we, like you say, we're still waiting for our first goal, but Courtois has been an extremely busy man in the last 7 or so minutes. A long ball's played diagonal towards Carvajal, but Liverpool are easily dealing with that, and now with Fabinho. And you're right, Real Madrid midfielder not pressing Liverpool as they slowly come to the halfway line. They're very much interested in going backwards and shielding their defences. Mane's almost played through by Salah. Salah again picking up the ball, but a heavy touch allows Valverde to come back and cut it into the midfield to Casemiro, who's very fortunate to get the ball. As a Liverpool man almost gets there first, but Benzema has had to come deep, and he's come to the left-hand side to get on the ball. He's been not very influential at all. He's barely had anything to do. Has been the lack of service. Well, say lack of service, the lack of time spent in the Liverpool half for Real Madrid. But here's Carvajal in a good position. Immediately brings it back to Modric. Modric sees, assesses the options ahead of him, and he doesn't like any of them. So goes back to on the right-hand side, as gets it back from Carvajal in front of Jurgen Klopp, who's all in black and looking very happy with the hands behind him. He's not happy. He looks very content with his side performance so far, and he's got reasons to, as it's now with Mendy. And again, there's a lot. It's very Real Madrid. They're not lively. There's still waiting for something as a ball comes in, looking for Benzema at the back post, but it's claimed by Alisson, and that might be the first time he's had to use his hands today.
Yeah, it's the first thing he's had to do. Was that ball going to drop into the back of the net? Might have done. Benzema was relatively close to it, but was never going to get ahead to that. And yeah, Alisson Becker for the first time, they got something to do. But here come Liverpool again.
Alisson Becker, wasn't part of that 2018 Champions League final. He's at Roma, and I believe they got to the semi-finals that year. And then, from memory, Liverpool beat them in the semi-final, like what they saw, and brought them over after that Karius incident. Or incidents in that final, as Diaz on the left-hand side of the penalty area now, and Real Madrid did do well to escort, and Carvajal shoves him over to the corner flag, and Diaz can't keep it in play, and the Real Madrid fans behind that goal rise and applause the experienced Spanish centre-half. Casemiro comes over to help out, but I don't think he really did much. So both fans have got their goalkeepers in their ends for this first half. And they'll be hoping to see some action in the second half with their team shooting towards them, and Real Madrid make a hack of it, clearing their lines. Go straight to Alexander-Arnold in the middle of the field. Quick potential give and go with Salah. Salah goes to Henderson instead. And then the Liverpool skipper couldn't find Trent Alexander-Arnold. But Liverpool are very much the dominant side in the opening 27 minutes at the Stade de France in Paris. And Liverpool will be extremely happy with the opening half an hour. And ones of fans of nostalgia or superstition will be, of Liverpool's persuasion, will be pleased to know that the last time these sides met in a, well, they've actually met in Paris in a final before, way back in 1981. And it was Liverpool that came up on top that night. But it wasn't in the Stade de France. It was all over in the Parc des Princes. Liverpool got cause for concern here as Carvajal picks up on the edge of the box, but there's a swarm of red shirts quickly around him, and he's had to go back towards the centre circle. And Real Madrid, they just seem slow, John. I don't know, have they really been caught out by that delay? Surely not, but they're not lethargic, but Liverpool are really making them look slow to the ball and around the ball.
Well, I think the thing is, if it was about sprints, then Liverpool would be winning hands down. They're much quicker than the opposition, and they're utilising that pace. Real Madrid are frightened to death. So every time Liverpool pick up the ball, look at the midfielders have to chase back Kroos, Modric. And if you're chasing back like that, then it's a long way, from the Real Madrid midfield to their attackers and the Liverpool goal. So they're having to work hard just to defend deep, just to try and thwart, the pace that Liverpool have got all across the park.
The Real Madrid are very much a side in transition, aren't they? The past decade, Kroos, Modric and Casemiro have been the centre of everything, but they're in the mid-30s now, and now trying to recruit. They've got Camavinga, the young French lad from midfielders. Fabinho lines up with a shot from distance, and that was always going wide. So they've got really players on age on both ends of the spectrum. One's quite well off into their 30s and a few in their early 20s, so it's maybe just that mentoring side of the careers, the likes of like the three I've mentioned already, as well as Benzema. There's half an hour in now, and it's still 0-0. Real Madrid still yet to register a shot to my memory, as Valverde tries to slip it through to Vinicius Junior, but that's been cut out, and Real Madrid lose out on possession again. And they're not interested in pressing the Liverpool midfielders. Sadio Mane comes to the halfway line to get a few touches of the football, and it's on the right-hand side. Salah is actually behind Alexander-Arnold. That's how far up he is. And now into the box goes the Egyptian. But again, Real Madrid just making it difficult. It's playing very narrow. The back four, back five of Real Madrid are all lined up within the 18-yard box of Courtois' area. There's a fine diagonal ball over to Alexander-Arnold. Gives it back to Henderson. First time ball into the box, but it's in the 6-yard box. And it's straight into the bread basket of Courtois.
Yeah, so Jurgen Klopp looks on, and in many respects he'd be pleased. But you know what? If you're going to be the better team, then you've got to score your goal. Real Madrid, they're just waiting to pounce, aren't they? You feel they're conserving energy because they have to do. But all the while that the game goes on and Liverpool haven't scored with this, pulsating start, Liverpool putting effort into the game, whereas Real Madrid did not. It's a bit like the tortoise and the hare, isn't it? And, for the Reds, I think they could do with this goal now. And there'd be good value for it as well because they have been the better team.
As Vinicius Junior almost played through, and it's a vital touch from Alexander-Arnold, because Junior was through there one-on-one with Alisson. Alisson, admittedly, he still had 35 yards to go, but he has got the pace to come away from the Liverpool defenders. It'll be interesting to see if he was onside or not. But Liverpool come back at the Real Madrid defence, and Salah again just dilly-dallying on the ball for a little bit too much. That allowed Cruz to come in and poke it away. Salah, he has sort of his performances have tailed off towards the back end of this season from the international break when he was obviously away with Egypt in the Africa Cup of Nations. As Valverde on the ball, still yet to score a goal in Europe in his Real Madrid career, and he's hasn't looked like doing so tonight. As Real Madrid bring it over to the left-hand side, Mendy's got time to assess and see what's ahead of him, and nobody was in the spearhead of the attack. Benzema just drifted over to the right-hand side, so they don't choose to chance it. Instead, they keep the ball and go back to the likes of Militao and Alaba, and they just need some possession of the ball, see if they can create something of their own. This is a collision between Fabinho and Casemiro off the ball. Referee Clement Turpin. I would have said Turpin if you didn't say it first, John. Is my horrible English pronunciation of the fine French surname. As Modric gets away from two Liverpool players, and they're just looking for time on the ball, aren't they? They're not looking to risk anything, see if they can create anything themselves, because they've had nothing to do as of yet. As Carvalho goes inside, back to Luka Modric. Here's Casemiro. Casemiro, poor pass straight to Sadio Mane. The Brazilian gives it away, and look at this turn of pace in transition is completely different. But Salah can't keep hold of the ball. Benzema is pointing at where he wants Vinicius Junior, trying to create something, slips it through for the young Brazilian, but Virgil van Dijk read that a mile away and just hacks it clear.
Yeah, read it like a book, didn't he? Again, they try to spring Vinicius Junior. It's like, and Benzema's working double hard. He keeps seeing him, pop up in midfield, trying to get his team into it. Modric is great, but this can't, whenever he's on the ball, it's like he's looking backwards, very difficult to unleash, and then you look at Vinicius Junior, what's he got to do? Well, he's got to get past the right back, but when he does, then he's picked up by Canate, who's got the pace to cope with him. He tried to wriggle through that one time, and eventually they did catch up with him, and then Alexander-Arnold just stretched out a leg. We didn't know whether Vinicius Junior was offside at that point. He may have been. So, if he's their key cog, they're really struggling to get him involved. Everyone having to work hard for them. But although Liverpool are the better team, it's still 0-0.
It is. Game just slowed down to a walking pace for the moment as Real Madrid got into shape, and Liverpool sort of passed it around the midfield going, what do we actually do? These guys, they don't want to play. What do we do? This is very unlike a Champions League final with the likes of refined football in the institutions of Liverpool and Real Madrid. But Carvalho's given away a free kick in the air against Luis Diaz. And we'll just see where the referee will put the ball down and see if it's a good opportunity to put the ball in the box. No, it's close to the halfway line. So Robertson decides to take it short as all Real Madrid players are in the half. In fact, everybody's in the Real Madrid half other than Alisson.
Yeah, I think that in boxing parlance it'd be called the rope-a-dope, wouldn't it? They're maybe hoping that Liverpool will run out of steam at some point, but there's no sign of that. And Liverpool playing a Premier League, which whether you like it or not, is played at such an intensity that you suspect that Klopp's super fit side could carry on going. They've had a nice long break ahead of the game. Here they go again with Canate on the break. Here come Liverpool.
Canate slams away from two Real Madrid players, gives it over to Alexander-Arnold, left-footed to Salah, and it's straight at Coutinho. A fine header, free header. Didn't have to leave the ground. He was marked by Militao, and Militao was not rather doing a good job of it.
No, the problem you've got, though, he's centre-back and he's marking the inside right. But the problem for Real Madrid is that Salah won't stay still, will he? So he's not going to be picked up by Mendy. He keeps drifting away from him. But when Mendy wants to make ground, he finds that he's got to run past Mo Salah. It's difficult, isn't it? You know, we're looking at Mane. We're saying, oh, he's centre forward today, but he's been everywhere. You know, Diaz, he's playing on the left-hand side more so. But they've all got license to roam, and it just makes life really difficult for Los Blancos.
Yeah, you say the only one off the front three is who's been pinned to a position so far. Pin being used very loosely is Luis Diaz. He has been hugging the left line, and the closest he's come in field is as he is now. And whilst the ball's been played on the right by the corner flag, Real Madrid had a throw, and Liverpool are just sort of letting them out, just having a bit of a breather in the Parisian night, as you mentioned earlier, John. It's not a hot sweltering light. It's not like Rangers and Frankfurt in Seville when it was very difficult for both teams down in southern Spain, but in in Paris tonight in France, it's a very cool evening. Valverde plays an ambitious ball over to Vinicius Junior, bounces, and Vinicius Junior just has to watch it down onto his foot. Alexander-Arnold doesn't put a challenge in. Here come Real Madrid into the penalty area now through the legs of Canate, and Henderson busts a gut to get back just in time before the young Brazilian fired on Alisson's goal.
Well, that's as good as it's got for Real Madrid. He nearly wriggled through, didn't he? But here's the corner kick.
Taken quickly short. Benzema puts the ball into the box, half cleared, headed back towards Alisson by a Liverpool man, and it got to the Liverpool keeper via a couple of deflections. Very fortunate. He's got the game going very quickly. A fine kick out the hands towards Luis Diaz, and the young Colombian has won a free kick. So within a second, Liverpool go from under the pump to putting pressure back on Los Blancos.
Well, there was never going to be a game where Real Madrid didn't have a chance. But if you think about it, we've seen 30-odd minutes, and they've had that one half chance. And even then, mass strengths of Liverpool defenders were there to block off, and Henderson did a good job. You're almost looking for luck, aren't you? For if you back Real Madrid, because at the moment they still haven't registered a real effort on target. Liverpool have made 8 chances, 5 have been on target that Courtois has had to save.
Robertson stands over a ball, goes short and across to Henderson. Again, though, player in white shirt rushing out to stop the cross. Ball in towards Robertson on the left-hand side, who made a run forward. But the second ball is with Luis Diaz, and Real Madrid again just standing, watching, but standing in rather annoying positions and blocking all the angles. And say with just under 10 minutes to go of normal time, if it remains 0-0 as the ball goes all the way through to Courtois, I think Carlo Ancelotti will be happy with what he's seen from his side.
I think he's very pragmatic about what capabilities they've got. They've clawed their way to this point. They weren't brilliant against Man City, were they? They got lucky, and Man City got sloppy at the back end of a game that they were second best in. Lest we forget, So it is pragmatic. It is defensive minded. They're trying to be solid. It still might not be quite good enough. I doubt he's going to be thrilled about the way that they've played in the first half. He might want them to defend solidly, but equally it's Real Madrid. They want to go forward and score a goal. Here comes Vinicius Junior, and here is Benzema.
Benzema on the left-hand side, not in the place where you want to be with Cruz, and again Liverpool sprint back, get positions, and force Real Madrid to go backwards as Carvalho fires a rather ambitious ball into the edge of the penalty area, and Valverde can't bring it down. So Luis Diaz picks up the second ball, and he's got his head down. He's run past 2 Real Madrid players, but they've got back and just got them something on it to give it all the way back to Courtois, who will assess the options and goes.
Well, Max, I tell you what, it wasn't Carvajal brilliant there? You know, Diaz puts his head down. He's a sight to see. And Carvajal must be a super sprinter, because then he was way behind, caught up, and managed to take the ball off him. I think that was a brilliant full-back play.
Yeah, he was initially beaten, didn't give up the ghost, and was on that side in front of Ancelotti. So maybe a potential roar from the Italian gave him an extra 15%. There's at Real Madrid again, just sidestep back, allow Fabinho to come forward. If Fabinho stopped and assessed his options and gone, actually, I'll keep going forward if you're not going to challenge me. But go back to that point, John, I'd really be happy if this was a group game or a round 16 game, first leg at the Bernabeu. You can't set up Real Madrid playing at home like they are now. Give it the neutral venue, the one-off game is probably swayed this negative tactical decision.
Listen, they might want it to dominate play, but they're just not good enough to do that. It's a simple fact, really. They're up against a better team, I think. And you can talk your way around it, who tactics this and that. There's no way that Real Madrid would have wanted to defend this deep or defend this much. It's just that Liverpool are too good for them at the moment. But things can turn around. And, of course, he's got a strong bench as well, Ancelotti.
He does. The likes of includes Gareth Bale, which would be a surprise as Robertson gives it into Mane. Mane turns. Can he get a shot on goal? He can, but it's well wide. The angle worked against the Senegalese. And he did get away from Militao, but just a heavy touch.
Yeah, don't know if it scraped off the boot of Militao as he's blocking him off there. He wants the corner. And it looks like Virgil van Dijk's moving his way up, so he's got it. Oh, yeah, so maybe it came off the toe end of the defender there.
Something I didn't pick up on. Robertson stands over this. This might be the first corner of the game. Definitely on the first one from the left-hand side. Robertson, left-footed, swings it in towards the near post. Cleared. Only as far as Henderson fires it in. There's a great connection from the Englishman. And was it too far away? Here comes the replay from behind Henderson. And it was always going wide. And it only just missed the poor ball girl. Looking the other way, and I thought she might be getting clobbered on the side of the head there, which would have been nasty.
Yeah, I mean, he really laced that, didn't he? But unfortunately, he hit where he was pointing, which wasn't toward the goal. So, you know, in the end, we're all excited about the strike, and then we saw it from behind him, and he was way wide. Yeah,
nothing wrong with the connection whatsoever. But you're right, as soon as it left his boot from the angle from behind Henderson, you could see it was going wider and wider. As Casemiro now on the ball, gives it to his teammate Cruz. And Cruz will go back to Courtois as we into the 42nd minute over at the Stade de France. And just looking at Modric and Benzema, they do look slightly concerned, as the Real Madrid have not been in this match at all. Alisson, I think the most he's had to do was collect a cross. Vinicius Junior has been caught late by Konate in the eyes of the referee, and
sure did. Yeah, he trod on his foot there. A bit naughty, that, a bit late. Referee hasn't had to do too much, has he, in this final first half. He has kept his cards in his pocket. It's not been a nasty game at all, but I thought that was a bit of a reducer from Konate.
The decision from Jurgen Klopp so far has been justified, and choosing Konate instead of Joel Matip. Joel Matip very much got up there, especially in the defence, with the most appearance in UEFA competition. But from the little action we've seen from Real Madrid going forward, Konate has been up to it, and he's dealt with Vinicius Junior extremely well so far. As the ball plays over to Benzema, flag stays down. Can he get a shot on goal? Brings it back onto the left foot. Alisson goes down to his knees, and it's Liverpool can't clear it. Valverde, Benzema into the back of the net. Does the linesman's flag go up? It does eventually, but Benzema and Alisson both made a bit of a mess of that one.
Wow, what a mess! What a mess! We were talking about the no nerves for Liverpool. Benzema was offside as the ball came to him. He cuts inside, Alisson comes out, doesn't get there, then he flaps at the ball, hands it back to Real Madrid, and it breaks back to Benzema, and then eventually a flag can go up. He was offside right from the get-go there. But Liverpool scrambled really poorly, didn't they? It's 6s and 7s, Alisson Becker slapping at the ball.
What was Benzema doing with his trying to pass it to nobody with the outside of his boot? He's selfish strike away in form. You say he's going for goal. Now, they're looking at it. I've only seen one replay, and admittedly, I wasn't paying attention to the line. I was just eager enough to see what the whole mess was about.
Well, I think VAR will take a look, but the thing is, they've spooled the tape on as if to say that Benzema wasn't offside from the first ball. I don't know why they're looking at this, because they can roll it back to when the first ball was played to him. He's clearly offside. So I don't know why they're bothering looking at the detail of it. When the first effort, clearly the ball chipped over the top, was an offside. They're saying a VAR goal check. So I don't know why they're looking at that and not the first ball, which was clearly to an offside Benzema. I don't really understand it. Blimey, if this goal is given, you're going to be quite something, isn't it?
Yeah, we need to brush up on our offside ruling when the goalkeeper's further forward than the player, but it'll be a real snatch and grab, perfect performance. We talking about earlier, that Italian style of slowly coming into the game and setting your stall up to be defensive and really nicking it. And Weigl was nicking it just before the break would be perfect. Was it from initially the first ball over the top? He was in between Van Dijk and Robinson. Was he offside in that build-up? I don't think so. We're not.
I think for me, look, it's if he's not offside after the first ball, then they're saying it's been disallowed because the offside has gone up. I don't know why they're then looking at the extra detail here. For me, it's the first ball. He was only offside from the first ball. What happened after that? If he wasn't offside, it's a goal.
Yeah, we just see Konate and Alisson, just maybe that's the pressure of the Champions League final caused a bit of hesitancy. They both looked at each other and went, "You deal with it." "No, you deal with it, sir." But we're still waiting for the game to get back underway as we see.
It doesn't take this long, does it? I mean, come on. The rest of it should stand if he's onside. But if you just drew a line, the first ball over the top, it's as simple as that.
Jerome Broussard, the VAR tonight, and he's got two assistant referees, so there's three of them all gathered around a TV screen somewhere in Europe. Who knew it needed three people to make a decision? Maybe it has to go via committee, and they're all deciding what's going on. As we see Zidane with his hood up, trying to remain hidden, looking back into his hospitality box, trying to find a TV screen, but it looks like the check is over. And we've had
honestly
ball's gone up for 2 minutes, but we're way into the second minute of that, so we could be going for another 3-4 minutes here. But,
they're looking at this. It was the second offside, and where he was stood was just offside second time, so it wasn't the first ball after all. Well, I would have. Well, I'm surprised at that, because I didn't think there was anything, wrong with this second sort of wave of what happened. I thought it was the first one. But there we go. That's a let-off, really. But Benzema is an ace away from scoring that goal.
Yeah, the one chance he's had, the one passage of play he's had is put the ball in the net, albeit he was in an offside position, but only just though. So that's the threat and the quality. And Liverpool weren't to know he was in an offside position, and my, oh my, did they really make a dog's dinner of that in terms of clearing their lines, as Real Madrid back on the ball, and Courtois put the ball straight out of play, straight into the Liverpool dugout. And obviously it will be a Liverpool throw-in. And I think both teams now just want to get to the half-time break, don't they? Real Madrid very much so, because that's what they've been playing for from the outset, is Trent Alexander-Arnold, the attempted ball into the box is cut out, and Benzema comes deep to get the ball, looks to play Vinicius Junior down the line, but unable to do so. Ball into the centre circle, a bouncing ball is dealt with by Thiago, and then it's hooked forward by Robertson. And the game's just getting a little bit stretched, a little bit messy from that after that VAR decision. And we're just now waiting for the half-time whistle to go. But Vinicius Junior's not waiting, so he's gone down holding his face, and he's quickly told to get up by the referee. I didn't see anything from Alexander-Arnold to say there was a hand on the face, but Thiago's now given a sloppy ball away, and Real Madrid look to get Benzema in behind the Liverpool defence. Konate blocks that, and then goes the half-time whistle. So Real Madrid finally coming alive towards the end of the game. Benzema thought he had the ball in the back of the net, which he did, but ruled out for offside. But you say over the whole passage of the first half, Liverpool were the team on top. 0-0 at the break in Paris.
It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with 5 on target. Courtois has done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball at the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with 5 on target. Courtois has done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball at the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with 5 on target. Courtois has done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball at the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with 5 on target. Courtois has done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball at the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with 5 on target. Courtois has done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball at the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with 5 on target. Courtois has done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball at the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with 5 on target. Courtois has done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball at the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with 5 on target. Courtois has done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball at the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with 5 on target. Courtois has done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball at the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball at the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball at the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball at the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball at the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball at the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball at the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball at the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball at the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball at the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball at the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball in the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball in the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball in the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball in the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball in the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball in the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball in the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball in the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball in the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball in the back of net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball back in net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball back in net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball back in net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Benzema had the ball back in net, but VR ruled it out for offside. It's half-time at the Stade de France in the Champions League final. It is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool dominate the first half and have created plenty of chances, 10 with the 5 on target. Courtois done particularly well twice. Salah's first shot, saw Courtois diving low to his left, and then a good shot diving to his right. They clawed the ball away from fingertips onto the post from a Sadio Mane shot. Right, forget all that. That's come and gone. It's the second half. The Champions League final between Liverpool and Real Madrid is just started, and everybody's in now. And everybody expects something, but are we going to get anything? I think there were enough chances in the first half, Max, particularly from Liverpool's point of view. If they can roll out a similar performance, I think they would expect to maybe hit the back of the net once or twice. For Real Madrid, they really had only one opportunity, didn't they? And eventually they were sort of a goal cruelly chalked off by VAR, which on another day they might just have got anyhow. We're 0-0. I think Liverpool were the better team the first half, and if they can carry that through, I would suspect that they're still favourites to go on and win it.
Yeah, Liverpool were definitely the better of the sides. They looked better. They looked better with it. They knew what they were doing. Real Madrid, they've been not lethargic, but they've just been sitting deep and deeper. They're letting Liverpool have it. They're just more concerned about making it very narrow in the middle of the field when Liverpool get to the edge of the box, and then Benzema and Vinicius Jr. having to come deep, and it's just they've got 2/3 of the pitch between the two of them to try and get a goal, and it's, as ever, it's extremely difficult. But Liverpool, Klopp surely would have said, "Don't change anything, boys. We're going all right," and they're making good saves. There's an early chance comes in, but nothing comes of it.
Well, I've got to say that again, Danny Carvajal has done a terrific job. Then he's kept an eye on the Colombian Diaz, and he's kept him really quiet, hasn't he? It was a good ball into the box, but like we said, good defending. As now Real Madrid trying to work it with Valverde, runs into the middle of the park, then gets rid of it out to the left. Nobody with Vinicius Jr., which is disappointing from Liverpool's point of view. He's looking for the give and go, but Konate did really well to win it back, because it looked like Liverpool was stood stock still. Had Konate not got there, Vinicius Jr. Could have been straight through. So, Real Madrid still have an opportunity, don't they? Los Blancos are a good team, and Liverpool have got to be careful. Long ball from Alexander-Arnold, headed away by Militao. Now Modric on the ball. Looks a great ball off his boot, and it is a good ball. Out to the left end, Vinicius Jr. again held up by Konate. Again, he goes backwards to Benzema. At walking pace now at Real Madrid.
Vinicius Jr. and Benzema both on the left-hand side. You think, someone make a run in the middle, or Valverde on the right coming at the back post to Benzema to put it in. There's just no intent. Cruz and Valverde just wandering forward. It's almost like they don't want to score the goal, or it's all they've been told, look, nobody leave their position. Vinicius Junior and Benzema are going to get the goals. Don't interfere with them.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think they want those guys to nick it, don't they? And if that doesn't happen, at some point we'll see Rodrigo coming off the bench because he's been scoring. They do have Eden Hazard and Gareth Bale on the bench. It's not like, they've got poor players to come off, and they've got players who can have a massive influence on the game. But there's no doubt that Liverpool's starting 11, and the 11 that's out there now is, too strong for Real Madrid. As they pick up the ball again, Salah running through the middle. And he will get to the ball first this time. He's held up, though, by Mendy, who just got caught short initially. Now looking for it at the edge of the area. Mane trying just to get hold of the ball, gets there ahead of Casemiro, uses his pace there. Chips the ball forward to Diaz. He runs into a challenge, and Militao again is inch perfect there. Benzema holds it up now with Casemiro, but he's got Alexander-Arnold fighting hard. And he was too strong for him there. I don't think that was a free kick at all.
That's weak from Casemiro. Well, it's actually quite smart. He was running over the halfway line. He had no support. He was the furthest man forward, and we know Casemiro is a defensive footballer whose job is to win the ball back and give it to Kroos and Modric, who can pick a pass out. And Alexander-Arnold has done nothing wrong. He's fair, shoulder-to-shoulder challenge, and Casemiro's just fallen over, just winning the free kick, and the referee's bought it.
Yeah, I don't know how Casemiro does that. He maybe his boyish good looks win the day for him, but he continues to throw himself to the ground every time he's challenged, and it's up to the ref.
He almost like he knows he's not good enough to run with the ball, is it? It's almost like, right, well, I can't pass it to anybody, therefore if someone comes near me, I'm going to the floor because I'm not good enough to look after it.
Well, at times he just gets caught out again by the pace of Liverpool. This time it's Alexander-Arnold who's in midfield. As Fabinho puts the foot in, he wins the ball. It breaks back, and then it's volleyed forward by David Alaba. We expect a little bit better from him. It was he who picked the ball, chipped over the top for Benzema that gave Real Madrid the goal that was ruled out. As this time we see Militao coming through the back of Mane, who will attempt to hold it up. Sadio Mane, not really his strength though, is it? He's playing number 9 today, the Liverpool number 10. And he's doing a decent job of it, but we all know he's better playing on the shoulder, really. Valverde's still out in the field, albeit we haven't really mentioned him. I'm sure he's tucking in. At times, they play Camavinga out there. Like we've talked about who's on the bench as well, but I don't think the Uruguayan is having any kind of game at all.
No, the only time we really mentioned him has been when that sort of offside call, when he was sort of caught up in the bundle, him and Fabinho. But other than that, he has been very ineffective. You've noticed Carvajal more on that right-hand side, but he's been left alone rather absent on the far side of the pitch. Granted, Real Madrid haven't been coming forward that much, and he's just been tucking into a defensive shape, so there's no real use to use his skill set. But also, Real Madrid want to come over to the left where Vinicius Junior is, and Valverde, I guess, his job is to be on the end of a cross, which has been overhit for Benzema, but that hasn't been happening today.
Here comes Salah, puts his head down. Now Vinicius Junior comes out, and then the cross comes in, but Courtois read that really well. Now Modric is on the ball. They've got to close this fella down. Lovely little touch off by Benzema for Casemiro, and there is Valverde on the right-hand side. Lays it back, ball chipped. It's a foot race between him and Robertson, and Valverde wins it and controls the ball really well. Steps back and buys himself some time. Benzema again on the ball. Finds Carvajal. He lays it back. He's under pressure from Diaz, who gets the foot in the Colombian, and the Liverpool win the ball back with Diaz and Thiago do ever so well there. Really smart play from the two Liverpool players to win the ball, and then Fabinho calms it down. Liverpool can get going again with Henderson, and then Thiago in the middle of the park. But this time, an uncharacteristic poor ball from him. Diaz was in a bit of space, but the ball was kind of sliced and then picked up by Courtois. Just signs of Real Madrid getting into the game in this second half, getting on the ball a little bit more. We said it's not red hot at the Stade de France, but Liverpool put a lot into that first half, didn't they?
They did. Liverpool made all the running, made all the moves. Real Madrid were very happy. As soon as they lost the ball and like Liverpool's half, they were like, right, back into positions in our final third. No interest of taking up the play in the middle of the park. And the game might be a little bit stretched now.
Well, here comes Diaz, and now he's running up against Modric. This is just something he'd like rather than Carvajal. Can he get round him into the box? He goes, scrapes the ball back, looking for Romani. Shot comes in, blocked away. Alexander-Arnold, maybe a chance for him. Shot comes in, blocked away. And Casemiro then can run away with the ball. And he wants another free kick. He's surely not going to get it this time. It was one fair and square.
Yeah, he forgot to fall over.
He forgot, yeah. And Clement Turpin wasn't buying it this time, our French referee. As Liverpool now, again, just stroking it around inside the Real Madrid half. Not a great deal of effort here from Los Blancos to close down. Come walking around. But now Fabinho on the ball. And Liverpool being lulled into this sort of walking game. They don't want to do that. They need to help the ante, really. Alexander-Arnold finds Henderson looking for the early ball. Puts Alexander-Arnold in. Cross comes in. Not being cleared away sufficiently well. Ball scraped back, and Mendy watched it over his shoulder. Eventually, that ball will hop out. Yeah, it's slow play from Real Madrid, and Liverpool can't get lulled into that. When a cross comes in there, for the first time, I think Courtois made a mistake, just shoveling that ball out. It could have gone anywhere, and it did, but not to a Liverpool player.
Like I say, the pace on it from Alexander-Arnold maybe chose against it. He had to catch it with his hand stretched going away from his body, and if he fumbles that when he's going to ground, rushing in, Salah might have just had a simple tap in. So playing it safe, taking that risk, but it's paid off in the end. And you're right, Liverpool, they are sort of lulling into that walking pace football, and that's what Real Madrid want. They're so experienced, about 4 players with over 100 appearances in the Champions League. They know what they're doing. They know how to play the game, and I won't say Liverpool are falling for it, but Liverpool are playing in a favour that suits Real Madrid's tactics for tonight.
Militao has made a mistake there, and he's come out to put pressure on Diaz. The two have tangled, and then Militao has gone down. There's no doubt that he's been caught, and there's no doubt that that hurts. It doesn't make it a free kick, and it certainly doesn't make it a card. But he went down anyway. We'll take another look at the incident.
Well, he went down holding his head.
Well, to start off with, it was a foul. And then Diaz falls on top of him. You know, I mean, undoubtedly it's going to hurt. But that was because Militao, in the first place, had made a mistake. And then I think he fouled Diaz. So if there was any justice, it would be a Liverpool free kick.
Yeah, he brought Luis Diaz onto himself, didn't he? As he was falling over the Colombian, trying to hook round Diaz. He did well to shield the ball, and he had to try jump and hook round onto him, and then he brought Diaz down onto his own face. So you're right, it is probably a Liverpool foul, but because Militao came off worst, referee's gone the other way.
Well, the referee played on initially, so
head injury,
yeah, one of those things. He stopped it. We don't know how they're going to restart, but then there was a lot of pressure on the referee from the Real Madrid players to say, "Oh, look what he's done," and that obviously then, you know, Henderson and some of the Liverpool players run over as well. I think it's fair enough for the skipper to do that. And then, of course, Carvajal is pushing Henderson in the chest. You get all that. Well, both sets of fans now making a bit of noise in the stadium as Van Dijk wins a header. The next one is won by Casemiro. Militao running gingerly away as Liverpool pick the ball back up. 57 minutes gone at the Stade de France. It is 0-0 as Henderson now has the ball, straightens up. Casemiro does really well to read that. Then Mendy steps in. Cruz now goes back to Militao, just stabs it up in the air. That's not good enough. But neither is Konaté's header. Benzema very nearly gets it. But it breaks back to Fabinho, seen as much of the ball as anybody. Mane is dropped deep to pick the ball up. Now Henderson, now Salah right-hand side, just the edge of the area. Trent Alexander-Arnold trying to get the ball into Salah, trying to get a shot away. Has a couple of efforts there, both blocked. He's claiming handball in there. VAR might take a look at that. Nobody's really interested. At least the referee looks disinterested. Let's take a look. Now the ball had come off the thigh of Ferland Mendy, I thought there.
But even if it did, the arm was tucked in. It was the arm was tucked into the stomach of Alaba. So even it hasn't made his body shape any bigger. His hands are out. He's tucked in. So VAR and the referee shouldn't be given that.
Militao takes a bit of a risk there, and Diaz was a mistake, but he got rid of the ball to Carvajal, who's had a strong game. Casemiro now finds Modric, and he's put under instant pressure by Robertson. The Scottish skipper chases him out, but he finds a good ball to Carvajal, who in turn finds Casemiro. It's much, much better from Real Madrid now. Valverde right hand side. Chance to look up. He's got 2 bodies in the box, 3 bodies now. Shot comes in. Oh, and he's put it to the back of the net. Vinicius Junior for Real Madrid with the tap in. They'd fallen asleep. The pace man on the left hand side was left to his own devices, and he's tapped the ball the back of the net.
Yeah, in front of their own fans as well. Initially, I thought Valverde held on for it too long. Benzema was screaming for just a nice little slip-through pass at the front post. Valverde's obviously ignored him and seen Vinicius Junior on the far side, pinged it across low and hard, in between the back 4 and the goalkeeper, right across that corridor and inserts. Here comes up the replay. Vinicius Junior out wide. Trent Alexander-Arnold, he has one look over and he gets sucked into following Benzema, doesn't he? Alexander-Arnold freezes the frame there. Vinicius Junior is onside for my eyes. And yeah, like you say, a simple tapping. Alexander-Arnold's let him go. He hasn't gone back out wide to mark him.
Yeah, big mistake that. Big mistake. And
so no chance.
Yeah, he doesn't now. I mean, it's a smashing ball. We talked about Valverde being a weak link, but it all opened up ahead of him there. No pressure on the ball. And he said, well, I'm not sure whether he really did see the man he wanted there, but he fires the ball hard across the face, and he just doesn't give Trent Alexander-Arnold any kind of chance. He was caught ball watching there, wasn't he? Vinicius Junior then with a right foot, side foot finish. And there we go, first goal of the game, and it's a big surprise to me. It's gone to Real Madrid. Liverpool had been the better team. You know, brought saves out of Courtois, but, well, it really puts pressure on the Reds now.
Absolutely, yeah. They've been huffing and puffing for an hour, and they haven't blown the house down yet at all. And you're thinking, what more can they do, really? Because Real Madrid have, I don't say they've matched anything, but they haven't looked too shaky. Courtois digged them out of the hole twice, but other than that, Real Madrid have been comfortably, especially in this half. Courtois has yet to make a real save, but what do Real Madrid do now? Do they sit back? Well, they're playing a nice little triangle on this in front of Ancelotti, so has it given them an oomph to go get a second one?
I don't think so. I think they play exactly the way that they've been playing. Don't forget, they've been belt and braces all day. You said it. Oh, they're going to try and nick a goal. Well, they've just nicked one. And all the way through the entire game, they've sat back, haven't they? Mm-hmm. I feel there's maybe a twist and a turn more. But for the moment, Los Blancos fans in the stadium are making their voices heard. The white flags are waving. And it's up to Liverpool now to find some spirit and dig in. As Fabinho almost rugby tackled there. That had got to be a yellow card, surely. Referee's just given a free kick. Wow. Anyway, the Reds have it now with Alexander-Arnold. I don't feel that Liverpool are getting much out of the referee out there today. Anyway, they'll have to find their own answers, won't they? Maybe without too much help from the referee. As Diaz trying to turn. I've been disappointed with Diaz today. As Fabinho's challenging in the middle of the park, he's going to get him a yellow card. Oh, the irony of it.
Yeah, it just tumbled over, didn't he? Head over heels was the Real Madrid man. Fabinho, it's just a late challenge. The ball had gone. I think it was all met with good intentions. That's what Fabinho is saying. He's just late, and Valverde takes a grass full of face plants the new turf down at the Stade de France. And there's been a lot of talk about this pitch, but I've noticed it's been playing well. Yeah, normally no bobbles, no loose turf. It looks like it's been there for a good while rather than the 48 hours that's been reported.
Yeah, it's clearly been a nice day, embedded in a little bit, but thank goodness for that. But anyhow, here is Danny Carvajal on the ball. Can't find a good ball. Van Dijk cuts it out. And now Diaz is a good little player, not having a great game today. Cruz wins it in the middle of the park. Modric now picks it up. All the street smarts now out of this Real Madrid side. Carlo Ancelotti, I think the way he set him up, he's not exactly a genius, but I think he's given them as good a chance as they could get. I think they need to dig in, they need to be pragmatic, and they need to try and nick a goal. And they've done all that. Their game plan is great, but for Liverpool's, it's to play some more juggernaut football. And for the moment, I would say, Max, that they've lost their way.
They have, yeah. They haven't come out with this. They haven't matched their first half performance as of yet. Granted, it took them, I think it was around about now, sort of this time in the first half, where they had that 3 chances within 5 minutes or so, forcing Courtois into some good saves, and Henderson had that shot from outside the block. But they haven't looked like creating anything of their own, as Henderson now brings it over on the right-hand side, but they haven't shown anything as of yet to match the first half performance.
Here's Salah with a shot, comes in, saved by Courtois, diving to his right-hand side. That was better.
Yeah, right on cue.
Yeah, you talked him into that, didn't you? But, Salah looks up. They just need a little bit of luck, don't they? Salah has played well today. Left foot strike was going in, wasn't it? And it's a real good save, that from Courtois. Anyway, 64 minutes on the clock, and Liverpool then being urged on by their fans.
I was listening to a podcast today, and they were interviewing Tony Kroos, and the interviewer said, spoke to Courtois yesterday, and I said to him, who are the 3 most influential players in the Champions League campaign? And straight off the bat, Courtois said himself. So he's not short of confidence, and he has been influential in this game. He's dug Real Madrid out of a few holes, made some good saves, and there was another one just then.
Here is Salah again. This time, was he caught by Vinicius Jr.? Yes, he was. It's a free kick for Liverpool at the edge of the area. I said that referee wasn't going to give him any favours, but just level things up a little bit there.
Yeah, it was a foul. Salah did really well. Just showed it to Vinicius and then just got his left foot on it, dragged it the other way, goes down, hands up to the assistant referee. Whistle goes. First change for Liverpool coming up.
Yep, and it is Luis Diaz, who hasn't had much of a game, the Colombian. Diogo Jota comes on. I was thinking about him, and I like Jota. I think he's a good player. I would have brought Firmino on, put Mane out there inside that left position where he goes so well. Diaz has come up against somebody today in Danny Carvajal, who's got a world of experience and used it all, used his pace and strength, and he really, got on top of Luis Diaz, and I thought outplayed him as simple as that today. Anyway, free kick for Liverpool, and I think we're going to see Robertson here with the in-ducker. Up he steps, the Scot puts the ball in, that's headed away. Salah just scrapes it away. Henderson gets back on it now. Mane, a chance to play it in from the left-hand side. He's all right foot, and eventually he does put a good-looking ball in, headed away by Militao. Los Blancos try to get back on it, but Liverpool recycle the ball. It's an up and under into the area. Headed backwards. And out comes Courtois, and he drops onto it. The former Chelsea man, he does a good job.
He does, yeah. And he's just the time-wasting tactics are going on. Sort of catches it and then falls to the floor. And you can he had one chance. Say Carvajal for me has been the player of the match in this opening 67 minutes. Of course, there's still a long time to go. Still time for a match winner. But he had one opportunity to run at Luka Modric in the second half, and he got stuck underneath it. He didn't really know what to do into the penalty area, and that just sort of summed up his night as Liverpool continue to hunt for this equalising goal.
They do, and there's Salah as the foul. Kroos has got goal side of him, did well. Before that, we saw a stupid foul from Vinicius Jr. in the middle, and the referee decided to ignore that because Liverpool still had the ball. I just wonder... is somebody going to, play a big part coming off the bench? Maybe it's going to be Jota's day. I haven't seen him touch the ball yet. Anyway, we are 3/4 of the way through this game. And at the Stade de France, it's Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 1. I'm John Hogan, and to take us through to the end of 90 minutes now is Max Hunter.
Thank you, John. Just see pictures. I think it was Claude Makelele. Won't Carlo Ancelotti love Claude Makelele just to be sitting in front of his back four this evening? They scored the final 20 minutes as Militao goes down to a challenge from Jota, but he hasn't won the free kick this time. It looks like it will be a corner to Liverpool. Jota making an instant impact as Van Dijk and Kanate come up from the back. They need a goal. Obviously, they need a goal sooner rather than later, and they need a goal to get back in it. And a set piece now as the big men from the back come up and they say Liverpool do have that height advantage. In it comes, doesn't get past the first man now as Carvajal heads it clear, and it's picked up by Thiago. Just gets there and gives it back to the Scot, who slips it through for Jota. Jota again wins another corner against Casemiro. Liverpool just need to turn up the dial here. Real Madrid have lulled them into their sort of walking pace kind of football this evening, and they just need to move it around quicker, force the players in white into a jog, stretch them out. We know Liverpool can do that. In comes the corner again. It's a better one. Canate almost gets there first, but it's more up than out. Fabinho heads it back into the mixer, and then I think it was Alaba who eventually got it clear. And Vinicius Jr. does really well to shield the ball, but not well enough. Salah back to goal on the right-hand side. Henderson comes towards the support. First time ball to the back post. Jota heads it back across goal. Can Salah get there? He can, but it's Courtois and the post combined to keep out the Egyptian, and another chance comes and goes for Liverpool.
Yeah, he just got a little flick near post. Courtois was just across there. I mean, Thibaut Courtois, he's going to end up man of the match the way he's gone. He's 3 really good saves from him tonight. He's keeping his team in it.
Valverde, ball in. Vinicius Jr. was free on the back, but it was an extremely difficult ball for the right winger to execute, and Real Madrid are a little bit stretched there, and Kroos does a tactical foul, but referee says play on. In fact, I don't think he even blew for the foul, and that just slowed it down and allowed the Real Madrid midfield to get back in position. And again, there's more white shirts than red around the penalty area, and Liverpool just missed a trick there. That Real Madrid they're leaving themselves they're leaving the door half open when they go upfield in this second half, and Liverpool they're not moving it at the same intensity that we're used to, John. And Real Madrid, they know how to play the game, Real Madrid, don't they? And look at this, they're all back in position.
Yeah, they're a good, savvy team. They know exactly what they're doing and how they want to play the game. You know, they're trying to negate the energy of Liverpool by just walking, shuffling back. You know, it's lulling Liverpool into more slow play. You know, Liverpool just need to get on it. And we're looking at what Salah did there. But Courtois just covered that post, hasn't he? He got round there. Look at the desire of the big man. He's actually saved that with his leg, because that was going in, wasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. The left calf saves Real Madrid. Keeps that clean sheet with 20 minutes to go. And again, Liverpool are having the possession and having the chances, but it all seems to be well within Real Madrid's stride. They don't seem to be any nervous or any shouting and arguments on the pitch. They're all happy with each other and how it's going so far, as Alexander-Arnold fails to control that ball and Mendy picks it up with ease. And Real Madrid, they're moving the ball a little bit quicker. Maybe that goal's just giving them a bit of confidence, but you're playing for Real Madrid. What more confidence do you need as Modric finds a fine ball out to Vinicius Jr. running at Canate. Here we go. The first time we've seen the Brazilian stretch his legs. So great tackle from Canate. Vinicius Jr. won round one of that battle, got past him into the D of the penalty area, and Canate well-timed challenge to bring him down, but fairly.
Yeah, that's why he's in ahead of Matip. He's got star quality, hasn't he, alongside Van Dijk. Very difficult to beat those guys, but of course they didn't need to. You know, the ball that came in just had to catch out the fullback, and you know, we're all big fans of him going forward, Trent Alexander-Arnold, but you always got to keep your eyes open as a defender, and I didn't feel he did that particularly well when Vinicius Jr. got past him for a tap-in for 1-0.
Benzema goes down there, a challenge from Van Dijk, and our referee, Clement Turpin, goes for a foul there on the Real Madrid skipper this evening. Van Dijk, no complaints there. Quickly turns around and jogs back to position. And you're just looking at the Liverpool bench. He's already Klopp's made one change, obviously. You get a 5 total in the UEFA competition this season. He's got Firmino. He's who else has got an attacking wise? You probably say Firmino's probably the next one he can bring on as a long ball over to Vinicius Jr. It's just been cut out in time for Alisson. You're thinking what he can bring on.
Well, I mean, he's got somebody who's quite offensive. Oxlade-Chamberlain and also Jones, you know. Yeah, you're looking for a drive from midfield. I mean, Henderson has played pretty well today, but is he ever going to get you that goal? You know, somebody like Oxlade-Chamberlain, like Jones, is going to pot shot. Maybe he's got a chance. I guess it's more likely that a more seasoned pro like Keita would come on I don't know. It's interesting.
I'm looking at thinking, is the players on the bench, are they going to make the 11 out? You say this is the Liverpool's best 11 on the pitch right now, minus Jota for Firmino. Like we said, we'd rather see Firmino come on and play through the middle and Mane go out to the left. As Alexander-Arnold does well, gets round one Real Madrid player, but Mendy comes over sliding in, and it's a fantastic challenge. And Alexander-Arnold not too happy, points the finger straight into the face of the Real Madrid left back, saying that's not on, but evidently it is. I'm not with you there, Trent. It's a fine tackle in my eye. So bit of handbags really going there as Mane brings the ball into the box, but a heavy touch allows Toni Kroos to come in, and Real Madrid again clear their lines. Fabinho hooks the ball back towards the Real Madrid goal, but again Real Madrid are defensively equal to this as Robertson now running into the penalty area, picks up on a mistake by Carvajal, but again another player in white is in the way. Henderson, what can he create? Brings it over to Alexander-Arnold, slips it through the legs of Mendy, but no Liverpool player on the end of it. And that's the scene story of the night. Alexander-Arnold lines up a shot, deflection maybe from Jota, but the Portuguese man reached out a leg, but he looks like he didn't get anything on it.
It's a real poor shot from Alexander-Arnold, isn't it? I don't know what was on his brain there. He clearly got just wound himself up there. I think there's no point feeling sorry for himself because you could say he was at risk for the, he was culpable for the goal perhaps. He's got to get his head back in the game. Does look like Naby Keita's going to come on, doesn't it? Maybe for Thiago, there was some doubt about with those two which would start. Maybe Jordan Henderson as well. I'm not sure what the next move is for Liverpool.
That's just, I don't want to say Liverpool, that passage of play, they seem to run out of ideas. They were going from side to side and didn't really know what to do with it. And maybe that's why Alexander-Arnold rush of blood to the head, thinking, right, I'm just going to have to go for goal here because nothing else is working. And again, that falls into the lap of Real Madrid. The fuses are starting to go with Liverpool players with 15 minutes to go. And they haven't had a good chance in a while as Kroos goes down holding his left ankle. Referee blows for a foul in his favour. Sadio Mane, the guilty party, and studs up. Both going for the bouncing ball. And it's just one of those accidental ones. We also see Firmino getting some last-minute instructions as well.
Yeah, Firmino's a good, strong player, isn't he, through the middle? They need goals. He holds up the ball well. He fights hard for the team. He's a good link player. Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't see him a bit sooner.
So I guess those substitutions will be made after this free kick as Liverpool have to defend this. Only Benzema and Vinicius Jr. leading the line as it's taken quickly. Casemiro drumming in the back post. He plays it back when he should have had a shot on goal himself, the Brazilian. And could that be the turning point of the game? It could be 2-0 to Real Madrid. He was taking it on the volley 8-9 yards out, and he's decided to square it back to Benzema. And
what on earth did he do that for?
That's the problem of a defensive midfielder. But a ball over the top, Vinicius Jr. flag goes up for offside.
Yeah, just. I mean, we can look down the line there. It's a beautiful cut pitch tonight, broad lines, and he clearly had just stepped over it. But before that, the break, Casemiro into the box, and his touch lets him down. On his left foot, he's just thinking about safety, percentage ball in the box, rather than having the ambition to go for it. You'd have thought there he would have liked to have just had a swipe at that anyway. Keita is on for Henderson. And we're just about to see Firmino come on as well. And he comes on for Thiago.
So it's going to have to be, we say Jota goes back into a midfield role maybe. Firmino down the middle and Mane over to the left. Midfield two of Keita, Fabinho. And Jota just playing slightly above them in the central, you think. But definitely attacking changes by Klopp. Obviously, he's got just over 13 minutes left to find a goal in normal time.
Yeah, it's asking a lot, but he's got a good team out there. Strong subs to bring on, fresh legs and all that, and they needed them because they were just beginning to look maybe a little bit tired.
Yeah, you could tell recently that they just noticed they were going a bit sideways a bit more. running out of ideas. So fresh leg, fresh brain, new ideas. Obviously with new instructions, they combine. Keita and Firmino do well so far. Real Madrid and Carlo Ancelotti yet to turn to his bench. Firmino picks it up in the middle of the park, but is intercepted by Alaba. Alaba can't keep hold of the ball as Mane brings it over to Alexander-Arnold, fires across on the half volley, and I thought he was lining up to go for goal himself there, but plays it across the 6-yard line into a heavy crowd, and Real Madrid get it clear, and Vinicius Jr. has been brought down by Fabinho. Fabinho, actually, no, he's been told to get up, so why is he not being booked for simulation?
Yeah, he was cheating there, and he should have got a card.
Firmino gets away from one, over to Robertson. Ball into the box towards Salah. Firmino's had to stop to readjust put his foot back in his boot. Maybe that's a slight hindrance to that attack, but the Brazilian number 9 back on the ball, strikes for goal, left-footed. Doesn't get past the first man, throw in Liverpool.
Yeah, and they need to know the kitchen sinking now, and their fans are making a load of noise. You know, Real Madrid have nicked a goal. They've been savvy and pragmatic, but I don't like that. I want the team, you know, who are driving forward to be the dominant team. They've done all the hard work. Can they get a goal?
Into the box, and it's put behind again. It's Jota has definitely made a bit more of an influence, as well as Firmino's been very active, but maybe an offside flag has been raised. Just see Jota dancing into the box, and you say Firmino's left boot was potentially offside there. Yeah,
maybe Mane was stood right offside in that. One of the Real Madrid players he's down. Playing for time or not, I don't know.
He's on his back was Militao, and I think he...
Oh, he's all right now.
Yeah, it looked like he was doing that hand rotation, say, I want to come off, ref, and then maybe the refs just said, he was over there with him and said, if you're down for one more second, you get in a booking. And never seen a player instantly get to his feet. So he's suddenly that substitution's no longer needed. As we've got 10 minutes to go. Courtois left-footed, high up the field, looking for Valverde. Nowhere near Valverde. He doesn't compete for that against Andy Robertson. And it's now with Alexander-Arnold in the middle of the park. We just see the attempts. Liverpool have had 17, Real Madrid 2, and they've got the 1 goal, and that's football. As Firmino, Salah combined to shoot and goal as Jota. I don't know if he meant to get in the way of it, but he got in the way of it. That pointed it towards goal. And Courtois, again, playing it safe, not wanting to catch. He's just punched it behind. And you could say maybe that's the right decision that time.
Well, it's rolling in again, isn't it? You know, it's a save that he has to make. And so far, he's been near perfect. I mean, he made one slight mistake, but I'd still be giving him 10 out of 10 tonight.
Alexander-Arnold tries to savvy free corner on the floor towards the near post, and I don't know if that was deliberate or not, but still a throw-in for Liverpool. As actually the referee's just paused it. Is he saying it was a throw-in for Real Madrid? Alexander-Arnold is not the best of friends with the referee at the moment. You can say Alexander-Arnold is he's the first Liverpool player to show stress and anxiety and maybe just start to lose his head a little bit. He's a few decisions he's gone over to the ref to have a word with. But it's actually remained a Liverpool throw, so I don't know what the referee disliked about the first throw, and it was taken in the right place. But Mane on the ball, left-hand side, slipped it through to Firmino to the bar line. Can it pull it back for a Liverpool man? Pulls it back to Keita. And it's way over the bar. Tried to go the outside of the boot. Initially, I don't think Firmino was looking for him, but it ended up to him anyway.
Oh, dearie me.
Oh, no.
If he's got a left foot there, you just think, all right, have a go with your swinger, mate. It's not set up for his right foot, that at all. If it's that bad, then you think he could even have taken a touch. But that was terrible from him.
He tried to shape it like that Modric assist we've seen earlier. Would play it with the outside of the boot, but it's actually hit the inside of his boot and gone way towards the corner flag. And another chance comes and goes for the side in red. And again, Real Madrid get the ball long, look to compete for it into the midfield. They're showing a bit more battle and metal in the middle of the park this time as Casemiro wins the ball, but then immediately loses it for a long ball over the top to Mo Salah to chase. Brings it down first time. Fantastic touch by the Egyptian. Strikes on goal. Good save by Courtois again. Just get past the top corner and he's blocked by a combination of 3 Real Madrid players and he shrugs them off, saying, job's not done, we've got a corner to defend.
Wow. I mean, Courtois has just been on it. He's 10 out of 10 tonight, isn't he? Unfortunately for Liverpool's point of view.
Another corner. Alexander-Arnold's gone over to take this on the Liverpool side, shooting towards the Liverpool fans. They're all behind that goal, begging it to come in. And it's a corner. It was behind everybody. They're in the 6-yard box, and Alexander-Arnold went to the penalty area. But Mane picks it up into Firmino. Firmino's come deep for Fabinho. Mo Salah picks it up as well. It's not a great ball, but Keita looks after it really well. But then the give and go with the Egyptian falls short. Vinicius Jr. But now with Cruz, but Cruz can't get rid of it quickly. He hasn't got the legs to spread the play. Benzema just overplays it.
Oh, 3 against 1 there. That should have been the game right there, Max. They're on top. This game is really getting stretched now, isn't it? But, you know, there's no doubt there, Real Madrid have had few chances, but 3 against 1 at that point, and they made a right hash of that.
Yeah, no other Real Madrid player came running forward as Alisson got the ball up there quickly. You could just see 7 Real Madrid players all in a line, way inside their own half going, "Net, we're going to leave you to it." And we just see this chance again. Look at it. Mo Salah brings it down perfectly with the left foot. Couldn't have asked for it any better. Fine touch. And again,
he's brilliant, isn't he?
Yeah.
2-footed striker, controls it 1 foot, shoots the other. But what a save again. I mean, Courtois has just been outstanding tonight, and he's going to be the man of the match, you know.
If it stays the same.
Yeah, well, I think you'd have to do a lot wrong, wouldn't he, from here on in, not to be made man of the match.
Yeah, so Liverpool have got just over 6 minutes to find an equaliser. 6 minutes of normal time, and it looks like Camavinga is potentially going to be the next man to come on for Carlo Ancelotti. As Vinicius Jr. brings up on the left-hand side. Benzema is there in support, but he hasn't got much support, and he does really well to win a throw for his side, and he shouts at his players on the halfway line saying, "You need to create an angle for me." As Camavinga will surely be coming on now as the passage in play. And just trying to make out the number of the fourth official's ball, but the numbers are flashing. And it's Valverde. And Valverde, conveniently for you Liverpool fans, is on his bum and will surely take as much time as he can to exit the field of play.
Yeah, absolutely. He was quiet, but he's got an assist in the Champions League final. I didn't think he played, you know, really well at all, and I'm not even sure about the cross that got the assist. But anyway, it doesn't matter, and I'm sure he didn't care what I think about him. As it stands, as he's left the field, you know, he's left his team 1-0 up, and Camavinga comes on and he'll do a very similar kind of job to him, really.
Eduardo Camavinga, 19 of age, from France. He's been a constant part in this Real Madrid side. He's behind some world-class players, but he still managed to rack up just shy of over 30 appearances in all competitions this year for the 19-year-old. Yeah,
and he's played for France 3 times as well as a full international, so he clearly is a prospect.
Benzema in the midfield looking to find Modric, but he's the court underneath him. He couldn't really dig that out as Jota head down, brings it over to the left-hand side. Sadio Mane is there, but that's a fantastic tackle from Carvajal. And I mentioned about 15 minutes ago, Carvajal is probably my player of the match, but now I have to agree with you, John, that Courtois is definitely put himself ahead of him as Modric drags back Firmino into the left-back position. And Real Madrid are just surely playing keep ball, and they've got the players to do so. There's Cruz, and goes all the way back to Militao, and Militao is going closer and closer to the penalty area. And then clips it over to Mendy. Benzema, ball over the top. Vinicius Jr. on it. Is it the assistant referee's flag down? It is. Comes onto the right foot. Still running into the centre of the play. Benzema tried to cut back on his left, and Alexander-Arnold was there to get in the way of it. Brings it over to the left-hand side. Real Madrid are a little bit stretched. Can Liverpool exploit that with 3.5 minutes to go? Firmino's making a run into the box. Mane, for me, he's held on for it for a little too long, and that's allowed a block of white shirts to get back, and they've got in the way of that cross.
Yeah, it's just not happened for him tonight. You know, we said in the first half he's way offside here, Vinicius Jr. That, you know, particularly the first half hour, they were red hot. Liverpool really needed to score. Then it would have been a very different game. You know, the save that was made by Courtois when he scraped it onto the post, hit the inside of the post, like you said, it could have come back off his head into the back of the net. Anything, it didn't. And it just had a little bit of luck. I felt that, you know, they needed a goal when they were playing really well. And had they done so, it would have forced Real Madrid to do more than just sit back and try and nick a goal. And the more pressure on Real Madrid, I think they might have imploded under the pressure and allowed Liverpool to play at that point. If that goes in, it could have ended up 2-3-0 Liverpool. It didn't, and Real Madrid have nicked their goal.
Corner to Liverpool, left hand side towards the back post. Courtois comes out and claims it really well. Canate was there, rise above his man, and Courtois flat on his back, holding his face and saying that initially I thought he came out and claimed it really well. As we just see a replay, he went down holding his face, and there's no contact with his face. So the dark arts are truly out in force for the Los Blancos tonight. And
well, I think it's not for want of trying. I mean, Canate, he's sort of trying to get an elbow into him there, isn't he? He knows he's not going to get the ball. Danny Ceballos is going to come on now, and again, just fresh legs, and of course at this point, trying to run down the clock, aren't you? I just think this game's got away from Liverpool. I would maintain that they're probably a better team than Real Madrid at the minute. But, and I'm sure if they played this game 100 times, that Liverpool would win the lion's share. It's just not been their night tonight.
No, as Courtois gets the game underway again, he's gone long, trying to get the ball as far away from his goal as well. But the problem is that there's no Real Madrid player up that far away as the ball now goes out, and the referee will allow the change to be made. We see Raul, he brought out the trophy with Ian Rush onto the plinth. As we see Luka Modric exit the field. A fine performance for him. There's nothing subpar from him at all this evening. They say Dani Ceballos coming on to just freshen it up in the midfield.
Yeah, that's right. Well, they'll be hoping there's no late equaliser here, because you'd want Modric to stay on.
Drop in quality.
Yeah,
with the greatest respect to Ceballos, but a Ballon d'Or winner making way. There's at Liverpool, bring it over the halfway line. Fabinho on the right-hand side, not really where you want him. Is a ball forward towards Jota, is only aimed at a Real Madrid man, but Real Madrid can't keep hold of it as we've got 15 seconds of normal time. I imagine there's maybe three added minutes, maybe. As Keita loses out to Camavinga. Camavinga gets a foot in. Ball goes loose, but he's not interested in chasing it down. Stays in position. We've got 5 added minutes, so still plenty of time for Liverpool as they come forward. Quick turn inside from Robertson again. It's only to a white shirt. And Vinicius Jr. and Alexander-Arnold compete for the ball. I think there's both fouls on each other, but so referee lets that one go. As Vinicius Jr. and Benzema play keep ball. A fun clip ball. Real Madrid are through here. Dani Ceballos, the new man onto the pitch for on goal with Alisson. Again, they're overplaying at Real Madrid. It feels like only Benzema and Vinicius Jr. are the only ones allowed to score this evening. As again, Ceballos through one-on-one. And again, he's afraid to take the shot on goal.
Again, I do feel that the ball was just bouncing around a bit on him then. He was through and it just didn't settle, did it? Allow him a chance to get shot with either foot. It's just bouncing around. And he's just tried to put the pass in. But there's been a couple of times, haven't there, that Real Madrid could have absolutely sealed it. One, there was a 3-on-1, and there, it's a beautiful through ball. And Liverpool were caught out again. They've been called a couple of times tonight. And
as well as that, Casemiro chance from the free kickers. Kroos and Benzema in the corner flag. And they've gone to that man, Casemiro, now in the middle of the field. And I'm sure it will go back towards the corner flag as Kroos actually fine back heel, and Benzema is in space. Vinicius Jr. to his left hand shoulder. Can Benzema wrap it up now? Goes to Camavinga, who's leaning back on that. Tried to find the top left hand corner, and it goes way wide.
Yeah, leaning back, that's the key, isn't it? You've got to try and get your knee over the top of the ball, but he was getting blocked off by Van Dijk, and it was always going to be difficult for him there. They haven't quite sealed it, have they? They haven't quite sorted it out. It's a 1-goal game. There's a few minutes left. And Liverpool have left it late before, haven't they? And come from behind before to win a European prize. But anyway, we're going to see Rodrigo come on now. And in fairness, it's good to see Rodrigo come on, because what a part he has played in Real Madrid's journey to the final. The goal scorer goes off. He'll be pleased, and he's played quite well today. I'm not his biggest fan, but I think he's done well today.
Yeah, he's got his goal. There's Van Dijk's now playing as centre forward. As Salah can bring it down again. Two Real Madrid shirts just about hack it away, and it's only gone a few yards out the box as Alexander clips it in towards Mane. Mane looked to head it back across the 6-yard boxes. There's a flare gone off, but it looks like there's an athletics track around the outside, so the security teams will look to clear that away as Mane brings it into the penalty area. Ball across, and again Militao's there. Benzema's even in the penalty box to bring it clear. Can he find a man? Can he find Camavinga? Camavinga into Cruz. And Real Madrid just bringing it clear as Cruz being bundled down as the referee played advantage. No, he's going to pull it back for the foul committed by Navigator, and we're over halfway through. We're into the going into the 4th minute of added time now.
Well, Keita's been a bit of a disaster since he's come on, really, isn't he? He's not done an awful lot. Hand the ball away, give a few fouls away. Sometimes better to do nothing, but not every player who comes on is, he's going to have a great big impact on the game. But I think they'd be really disappointed with tonight. I think they've played well at times, Liverpool, but in between the goalkeeper and a slice of luck, just not been their night.
Absolutely not. As the Real Madrid substitutes nervously pace around as they're a minute and 20 seconds away from winning their 14th Champions League. I think that the last time they lost a European Cup final or Champions League Cup final was that match in 1981. Generally, when they get to the final, they normally win. Played 16 finals, won 13, lost 3, and it looks like they'll be winning trophy number 14.
Well, it's a funny way of winning it. They were second best on the night for me, but they found a way, haven't they? And you've got to give a massive credit to Carlo Ancelotti, the way he set them up. Be pragmatic, some older players in the team, but he's played to their strengths, hasn't he? He hasn't asked too much of them. He didn't want to go try and out-duke Liverpool. He was more savvy than that. Tried to, just catch them, and he's done just that tonight.
Alisson almost caught on the ball, but Liverpool still have it. Fabinho cuts inside, ball into the box, and it's too close to Courtois, and that man, Courtois, claims on it, lies on the ball, and we'll try to eat as much of this time as we can as we see Marcelo, Modric, Vinicius Jr., Nacho Fernandez all on there. So I've heard substitute gear ready to go. And I don't know who decides the official player of the match, but if it's not Courtois, it's going to be very interesting as fouls given away by Cruz on Keita inside the Liverpool half, just pulls the shirt and kicks the ball away for good measure. But we're not going to have the free kick. That's it, full time at the Stade de France. And Real Madrid really against the run of play. They've had 2 attempts on goal and they only need, and they've got their hands on the trophy thanks to Vinicius Jr. tapping it in. Liverpool had all the chances, but that man Thibaut Courtois in between the sticks kept them all out, and it's ended Real Madrid 1, Liverpool 0.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck.